On the 2nd of September 1958, Soviet MiG-17 pilots shot down a U.S. Air Force reconnaissance-configured C-130 aircraft over Soviet Armenia. 17 crewmen were aboard. The MiGs attacked the unarmed aircraft after it inadvertently penetrated denied airspace. It crashed near the village of Sesnashin, 34 miles northwest of Yerevan, the Armenian capital. The C-130 reconnaissance aircraft was readily recognizable as non-lethal. One MiG pilot identified it as a 4-engine transport. The C-130 crew members were based at Rhein-Main Air Base in Germany, but were TDY to Incirlik Air Base in Adana, Turkey. The aircraft carried 6 flight crew members from the 7406 Support Squadron and 11 USAF back-enders from Detachment 1 of the 6911th Radio Group Mobile. On this day, the C-130 departed Incirlik on a reconnaissance mission along the Turkish-Armenian border. It was to fly from Adana to Trabzon, Turkey, on the Mediterranean coast, turn right and fly to Van, Turkey. From Van, the pilot was to reverse course and orbit between Van and Trabzon. This course would parallel the Soviet frontier, but the aircraft was not to approach the border closer than 100 miles. The aircraft's crew reported passing over Trabzon at an altitude of 25,500 feet. The crew acknowledged a weather report from Trabzon, and that was the last heard from the flight. What happened next is unclear. The C-130 crew may have become disoriented by Soviet navigational beacons in Armenia and Soviet Georgia, which were on frequencies similar to those at Trabzon and Van. One signal in Soviet Georgia was stronger than that in Trabzon. After the shoot-down, the Soviets denied downing the aircraft, claiming that the C-130 fell on their territory. But this picture from a MiG's gun camera proved otherwise. The Soviets continued to deny responsibility for the shoot-down, and the fate of the remaining crew members remained unknown during the Cold War. This book, written by former Security Service member Larry Tart and Robert Keefe, one of the first airborne Russian-German linguists in Europe, collaborated in an effort to pay moving tribute to the courage and patriotism of all the U.S. Air Force and U.S. Navy crew members, including those captured, and the more than 200 who never returned. In September 1997, a replica of 60528 was dedicated and is on permanent display at the National Vigilance Park site at Fort Meade, Maryland. Larry Tart, a member of the Air Intelligence Agency's Hall of Honor, played a major role in creating the Aerial Reconnaissance C-130 Memorial to honor 60528's lost crew.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.